my name's Mitchell,
And I'm Bill.
and we're here at Books, Beans, and Candles, and this is the Magic City's podcast.
Absolutely.
Because from starting this month, we're going to be in person again.
Yes.
So we have people coming in and giving lectures, different topics every month, and that's going to be the fourth Thursday at 6:30 at Books, Beans, and Candles.
Yep.
And that's coming up this March, and of course, the first Friday in April will be Tea and Tarot.
Right.
And then the third Friday is Sips and Stars.
Mm-hmm.
I remember all these things.
Is it April also the Hades?
Oh, the Hades, April 27th. Yeah, the Hades.
The
Author
author
will be here teaching a class, giving a little lecture,
and a little Q&A.
Q&A on Hades, and do a book signing.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be something. It's only $35 if you guys want to come join that. You can call the shop and sign up for that now.
I really want to know that.
That's gonna be cool. Be a little more in depth on the Hades, mythos and everything. And of course, I want to thank everybody who came to the Austere Ritual.
Absolutely.
That's great. Thank you guys so much. And today's topic is going to be about the gnomes and the trolls and the leprechauns.
Yeah,
It's March.
It's March with St. Patrick's Day coming up and all that good sort of stuff for us coming up. And I thought, that would be a really cool little thing to talk about because we see these and we all have heard about them. A little bit of the lore, a little bit of the mythology, but some of the similarities and some of the folklore. I thought that was kind of interesting and how the cultures kind of coincide and how they, where it came from.
Yeah. And whether are they nature spirits or
right.
are they, and these are a couple of books here that this is the Gnome Grimoire and the Companion. There's one other one, but this is talking definitely about working with the nature spirits and looking at gnomes as that aspect.
Mm-hmm. And it's a 3-book series by Will Martell, and there's the Gnome Grimoire, the Gnome Compendium, and which are books 2 and 3, and there's a third book.
Yeah.
Really cool books. Got a lot of history, a lot of diagrams and breaking things down, even to their clothing and associated symbols. They're really cool books. If it's something that you're interested in, I would definitely recommend checking them out. And these are available here at Books, Beans, and Candles.
And the difference, in a lot of times, like the difference between a leprechaun, which generally has a little more of a trickster or almost get even kind of energy, and the trolls, which often have almost like the gatekeepers, you got to pay the toll, you got to cross the river.
Like in the Brothers Grimm's Billy Goat Scruff.
Yes. And then, of course, you get the gnomes, which are generally, they're more, I guess, truly just the trickster kind of protector, like the guard protectors and kind of things. But there's a lot of
interesting that you said it. So a lot of folks know gnomes by the really cute little red-headed garden gnomes and cement statues. I want to read this to you because gnomes were that whole garden gnome thing started in Germany in about the 1600s, 1700s, and they got moved to Britain by a guy who was actually collecting them. They used to not be, so they weren't originally very small. They were like 3 feet tall, and they were put like as gatekeepers.
Yeah.
So with your gnomes, you have, it actually comes from the Latin or the Greek word gnosis, which means hidden knowledge. Okay,
yeah.
So they were protectors of secrets and of the hidden knowledge, things like gardening, growing, fertility, and so they were looked at for mostly in protection of your space in your home, not so much the inside of your home, but the outlying area. So your yard, your field, that's where they would preside over. Even Tolkien used gnomes.
Yeah.
They were, the descriptions of them through history pretty much range everything from, short, round-bodied. They were thought at one point. One legend talks about they were spinster women. There were spinsters who had passed on and came back, and they were constantly in search of other spinster women to draw with them. To kind of,
That's cool.
Yeah. And some of them, the red hats thing, they were thought to wear the red hats, and they could flip upside down on their hat and spin at will, like a top.
Okay.
But their mythology, they're more like your land guardians, and yes, gardens, but your field. Not very smart, but very good with their hands, very durable and immortal. Um, I believe that a lot of what we know as the mythology of the leprechaun came to us through the Scandinavian migration of the Celts,
Right.
through the Gnomes into the British Isles and over into Scotland and Ireland. And the word in, I can't pronounce it in Gaelic, but it's basically is leprechaun. Um, they seem to be more dealt with trade. And by trade, I mean, like you see the old cartoons, the old tales about them being cobblers, shoemakers. They were more financial. So if you wanted
your wealth,
they were guardians of hidden wealth. So when you had money, oh, the leprechaun has it.
Yep.
So they where you keep it, where you keep your secrets. Now your wealth could be your field, especially a lot of time really was.
And don't think secrets were wealth too.
Exactly. How to grow the trade guilds.
Yep.
And so those custom secrets, even the bread bakers and the bakers, that was wealth, knowing those secrets. So that
and became very protective of it, almost obsessively. And
exactly.
In the more modern lore, because Leprechaun's always about that gold and protecting. Of course, the pot of gold is the metaphor.
Oh, absolutely, for their wealth,
secrets, their wealth, anything like that. So it's that
anything of value.
Value, almost like a hoarding kind of thing. But
absolutely,
but that I keep it secret, keep it safe kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. And they weren't necessarily, they were supposed to be, they were thought to inhabit. Whereas the gnomes were more in your garden, the leprechauns were more in your like your mushroom rings, your fairy mounds. So that's where, because gnomes were thought to live in the earth. Okay,
yeah.
Them and trolls share that a little bit with gnomes in caves and under things, and so you get to Ireland and the British Isles, and then you have the fairy mounds.
Yeah.
And a lot of that came with the lore of the Tuatha De Danann, where they lived, and leaving out the milk and honey every night, the cream for the leprechauns, for the land spirits. But the leprechauns dealt more with the material versus
secrets, that kind of aspect. Yeah.
And on cobbling, on shoemaking, they're always depicted. You see them depicting shoes, always one, never a pair. So there's always that. It's that hidden.
Yeah.
It's the job is never completed, or you don't see the finished product.
Right.
You always see them making one. They'll have one in their lap they're working on, or one on the bench, but there never is a pair. Or if there is a pair, it's not the pair they're working on.
Yeah.
That's already accounted for. That's part of my wealth, or that's something for somebody else.
That's very cool.
So trolls.
Yeah, that's what trolls.
Trolls is a Scandinavian thing.
Oh, absolutely.
It comes Norse mythology.
Movie like Troll was Scandinavian.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the gnome named Gnorm. But anyway, I digress. So trolls were thought to live in the earth. Okay, they were in mountains. They were in caves, and a lot of that I think comes from the lay of the land. You can look at rock features and see what looks to be like the sleeping giant.
Right.
So that trolls were thought to be not very bright, and they were the most vicious of the three. They were the tricksters. They were the meanest. The leprechauns, they were tricksy and they were mischievous, but the trolls were outright violent. And a lot of their stories and a lot of their lore deal with things that you would tell children, kind of to keep them in line. So don't wander off into the woods. Don't cross that stream because the trolls will get you. And you look at the mountains and that's where the troll. That's it. He's not looking at us because the lore is that they would turn to stone during the day.
Right.
So you didn't want to go out on the moors, and you didn't want to go out into the lands at night because that's when the trolls were awake. Yep. And Tolkien used that in the Hobbit about the trolls getting in, and then when the sunlight comes, they turn to stone.
Yep.
And a lot of that, I think, that I do believe is very much a geographical-based folklore system.
Yeah.
Caves, the way the cave openings to caves can look like trolls' mouths, because they were said to be giants.
Yes,
they were not diminutive little creatures. These were massive. Think Godzilla-sized chunk of rock.
Well, even like in Tolkien, Lord of the Rings, Boromir, cave troll. They got a cave troll, like big old thing coming down.
Yes.
That was small compared to what I think most people saw trolls. Harry
Right.
Potter, the troll that gets in the bathrooms, you know.
Right. I mean, they're
Yeah.
huge, and that was a young,
Yeah.
that was a young one. So I mean, big bad, immovable force that will,
Ice smash.
yeah, Hulk smash,
Yeah.
punish you for doing wrong or for crossing a boundary, going somewhere you shouldn't. It was very much a psychological thing that I can absolutely see parents and grandparents, telling their
Don't
children,
cross that river.
don't cross because the troll lives under the bridge. The troll, or the way
Get you.
or the way that the bridge is formed. Well, that's his back.
Yep.
You don't want him to wake up, and you certainly don't want to go out there at night. But I do one of the I think quick little story about leprechauns. So part of their lore is they're always trying to trick. But if you can keep eye contact, you keep hold of them and keep an eye contact on them, they're going to have to tell you the truth and be truthful with you, right? So a farmer and his son are out in the field. They happen to catch a leprechaun. They got a hold of him in there. Where's the pot of gold? Well, it's under this ragwort plant. Okay, so they go and he tells them this is it, and they tie a red ribbon around it. So when he makes the leprechaun promise him he's not going to remove the ribbon. Okay, fine. So the farmer and his son leave and go get a shovel. They come back and the field is covered. Every weed has a red ribbon on it, making it impossible for the farmer to find the gold. So it's also kind of a warning and kind of a old wives' tale of be careful what you wish for.
That's right.
Also, when dealing with magic, be sure of what you're saying. Be specific, and don't necessarily take things at face value. If you want, and there's no quick riches. You're going to have to work for it. And so through allegory and through all these stories of these magical beings, and they've had many names. So leprechauns were often mixed in with fairies and with gnomes were mixed in with pygmies. Actually, in one translation, the wives were called pygmies. They're also called gnomids.
Yeah.
But it was spelled not the same way we spell the Y. But it's just one of those things where it's across. I think it's absolutely the same, line of thought through different cultures as people have moved. They're taking those ideas and translating them through into a story of things that make it understandable for us. Give it, that little, a little bit extra. And, do I believe that these things exist? Absolutely, I do.
Nature spirits.
They are nature spirits. It's just how they manifest to somebody, and there's nothing, I've looked at those rock features and thought, yeah, I can absolutely see that. That is sleeping giant. Yeah. I'm just going to avoid that just in case. I mean, it's a fun time of year. You have, we just had Austera. You got Beltane, and then we got Litha coming up. Yeah. So all that, magical fertility and playful mischief in the air. Absolutely. Why not give a moment of thought to the leprechauns and to the gnomes, but remember to beware of the trolls.
Yeah. Well, cool, man. I learned a lot. Thanks for sharing, man.
Absolutely.
That's much more than I knew about gnomes and leprechauns and trolls. That's really cool. Just a reminder that we are now meeting in person on the fourth Friday fourth Thursday. Thank you, at 6:30. Mm-hmm. And of course, we have Tea and Tarot on the first Friday, Sips and Stars on the third Friday.
Yep. Let's see. We also have in June Christopher Penzak for a 2-day class. There is a class on Friday, and then the Saturday and Sunday. Even though it's 2 days, it's one class.
Right. You can call, and of course, we also have it on our webpage. You can sign up. There is a shipping thing on there. I can't remember what it is, but I will refund the shipping. So if you go ahead and go through it, I had to do that already. I'm like, I don't know why there's shipping stuck on this thing.
The love of technology.
Yeah, so I haven't figured that one out yet. But if you do buy it online and see the shipping, don't worry, I can refund that as soon as I see it pop up. You'll get that back. Other than that, we have the Hades on April 27th.
Yes.
So lots of things happening. We got a lot of stuff going on.
A lot of stuff.
Just keep checking our Facebook and the events. That's where you're going to find most things, and Instagram. And of course, obviously, I'm going to do more TikToks, and I will get back to doing TikToks.
Absolutely.
For the challenge.
Also, love to see you stop in, get a cup of coffee, sit, chat, all that good sort of stuff.
Yeah, good questions. We'll always be here to help you.
Absolutely.
All right, my name is Mitchell.
And I'm Bill.
Thanks, guys, for joining us for the Magick City March podcast. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.